Hello. So this session, I'm going to be reviewing TADHack Global 2021. Now, I'm going to be looking at some of the hacks from around the world, focusing in on local hacks of significance that I think are good examples of how to create a good pitch. Now, before I start, I need to thank the sponsors for TADHack Global. That's Symbol AI, Jambonz, Telnix, Subspace, and Ava Network. Now, it's not just the sponsors. We have many people. We're in a global event, many locations around the world. So, of course, we have some of the brands involved there, either running locations or supporting us. And I've included the local sponsors as well from TADHack South Africa. And Technicafe was one of the co-sponsors for TADHack Colombia. Now, just a few numbers. We had over 1,000 registrations. This was a surprise, I have to be honest. This was the second year of running TADHack during a pandemic, with a many remote or virtual locations. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but we did really well. I was very happy with those numbers. We also kicked off a new initiative. So this is TADHack Teens. In Sri Lanka, we had over 150 registrations, and this is working with the local schools. Then we had 3 in-person locations. Last year, it was only 1, Berlin. This time, we were able to have Berlin, Chicago, and Orlando. Now, South Africa, TADHack South Africa, that was massive. We had over 400 registrations. MTN and IOBA are the sponsors of that location. Now, I was running Orlando at Valencia College. So again, thanks for Valencia for providing the accommodation. And we actually had to double the lunchtime order. And I have to admit, it was very gratifying to see everyone's delight and relief in finally being able to hack together after an 18-month-long break. And really, TADHack's focus is programmable communications. If you're involved in real-time communications, you should be part of TADHack in one shape, form, or another. And just a nice little graphic showing, yes, we had people really hacking together, which was delightful. This is the TADHack Teens, showing some of the people that were involved there. TADHack South Africa, they had a green screen because, of course, it was a virtual event. Also in Papaya, they had GatherTown. So again, it was really nice to have all these different locations streaming live, some in person, some virtual, but all producing amazing hacks this year. Now, the big deliverable, of course, out of a hackathon are all the pictures. So you can go back to 2014 to the first TADHack, and you can see the pictures that were given there. And some of those people have gone on to be very successful in their careers. It's amazing to see. As you can see, Sri Lanka produced a lot of hacks. South Africa actually had a lot of hacks. This is just the winners, that got through to the end. Colombia had a great number of hacks. You can see Symbol 21, Telnix 30. Those sort of numbers we haven't seen since TADHack was having 2,500 to 3,500 registrations. So it was really nice to see that success. And this shows the hacks. We're going to be reviewing some of them just to sort of exemplify, some of the interesting features or capabilities. Symbol, as you can see, again, great number of hacks from all around the world. It's not just North America. It's people from all around. Each location was making a contribution. Now, Jambonz is an open source project. So this is our first open source sponsor. And at the event, 2 of the hacks made contributions, significant contributions to the project. So it's a great testament to what TADHack can do for open source projects, and seeing people hacking over the weekend and really helping the Jambonz project. So let's focus in on some of the hacks. We have TADHack South Africa. So this was Mathura. Now, the background to this hack was it's all about schools, universities, online learning, and all the different apps and platforms they use. I see it, every day with my son in all the different platforms that they use. Now, because they're still remote for a lot of education, you have to do testing, and those testing platforms can be quite expensive. And also cheating is quite common with online examinations, with additional monitors, or because there's no identity check. Students can pay for basically friends to come in and write the exams for them. So Mathura is a single application that provides the solution to all these problems at a fraction, of course, of the price of some of those platforms. Mathura is an Arabic word meaning open, simple, easy to use. Now, Mathura's secret sauce was mashing up both global and local sponsors. So the chat tab in their app for school communications used the Telnix API, a global sponsor. The storage tab was using IBM, a local sponsor. To commence the exam, it had facial recognition, and that used TCS. In the chat, it also had sentiment analysis. So if there was inappropriate language or bullying, they used Symbol AI. And then if there was a disciplinary offense that took place, you got a text to tell you you've been naughty, and that used Telnix. The app holds the general student records, again using the local sponsor contactable. And the plan is to take this app to market through IOBA. IOBA is one of the sponsors of TADHack South Africa. And again, there's the link so you can read more about the hack itself, written by the developer. Now, as always, it's good to learn from the best. So here, similarly geeky, which is Lily Maydar and Steve Goodwin, they really do produce amazing pictures, as well as, of course, technically impressive hacks. And yes, producing 4 hacks at one hackathon is a little overachieving, to say the least. But they're great examples to look at and review in terms of the intro of the team, the name of the hack, the sponsors used, and provide a summary. So you know, right, this is what it's going to be about. Then they do 2 things. They either show a demo and then review the tech, or they review the tech, then show the demo. It's up to you on that piece. And then they wrap up in terms of what they learned and where next for the app. So let's have a look at Wizard Chess, just to see an example of how they open things up with their pitch.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Steve.
And I'm Lily.
And we are Team Similarly Geeky, talking about Wizard Chess, something that we built for TADHack. This uses the Telnix for voice in, voice out, and it uses Symbol AI for the processing of the text that comes in. So Wizard Chess, as the name suggests, lets you play a game of chess with your voice. We have essentially used $500 million of internet technology and infrastructure to play games. So what happens is that the user goes to the website, they see the game of chess they like to play, and they dial the number connected with that game.
Welcome to Wizard Chess. Please wait for the game to be ready.
They then speak into the phone, saying, I would like to move from here to here. And that voice information goes through Telnix to Symbol AI, D2 to D4. It processes that, it works out the move they want to make.
Computer moves from G8 to F6.
And that information is sent via WebSockets to the web page. At which point the AI makes the move, and that move is then constructed into a sentence, passed back through Telnix to then speak that move to the person at the other end. But to tell you how that actually all works and the nitty-gritty details, it's over to Lily.
So we start by...
So this was really nice in terms of handover. You really understood what the hack was about. You got the demo, then they moved into the description. Now, let's just see where Lily takes the lead. So looking at colloquially.
Hello, I'm Lily.
I'm Steve.
and together we're Team Seemingly Geeky for TADHack 2021. We're going to introduce colloquially our accessible conferencing solution that we built using Telnix and Symbol AI.
The problem here was about phones. Phones give you access to everyone on the planet. Unfortunately, phones are not very accessible. It's audio only. So some people who don't have hearing, either permanently or temporarily, or don't have voice, temporarily or permanently, have great difficulty using them at times. So we've built a system where if you want to...
Again, really nice opening, focusing on explaining the problem and the technologies used. So again, we have thousands of pitch videos, but I just wanted to highlight what I think a nice case study. Now, of course, there's some neat editing in there. You don't need to have that. But again, one of the benefits when you're remote is you get a little bit of time to do some video editing to produce something that is quite cute. So now, this one broke several of the rules. I am pretty strict on that 5-minute limit. Now, this was a big team, and there was a head of steam. They had been waiting to hack in person for a long time. So for them, this was just a delight, and I let them run over simply because the hack was so impressive. So let me just play you a little bit from the start so you understand, again, getting the sponsors, who you're using out as early as possible, explaining what the hack is about, then draws people in to what you're going to talk about.
All right, so, oh, sorry. We are a rescuer, autonomous rescue robot. This is TADHack 2021. So thanks for our sponsors, Symbol AI, Jambonz, Telnix, Iowa, and Subspace. And next slide. So our problem domain is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Miami collapse building about a few months back. The building collapsed, there were, it was a catastrophe. There was a lot of missing persons cases. There was no way to actually figure out how to actually respond to the situation because we never had.
Again, shows a local problem, and then they put together a whole host of different technologies. All the sponsors were included and really did achieve a very impressive hack. It went on for longer than 5 minutes. I've made a promise to myself, this is the last time I'm ever going to let anybody do that. But again, very impressive hack, just to see when you bring in a very capable team, what you can achieve in literally just 24 hours. So it doesn't always have to be focused on some big, impressive, society-changing problem. It can be just some, as I show here, some old school cool. I'll just open up and let Jerry introduce his hack.
Hi, my name is Jerry Reed. I'm with University College here. This is a team of one, so it's like an army of one. Basically, this is a really crude hack, but it's fun because it's a weird hack. It was actually suggested by another hackathon contestant as a side hack, and so I thought I'd present it to you. Uses SMS to control an antique synthesizer, so it makes audible sounds ostensibly music.
So this was a vacuum tube antique, as he said, synthesizer, and was using SMS to make it play some songs. Again, nothing other than just cool factor there from Professor Jerry Reed, who has supported us for many years at Valencia College when we're down in Orlando. Now, Jambonz had quite a few hacks. Two in particular I just want to highlight because they were very impressive, and the most important thing is they contributed to the project. So we're going to hear from Dan Jenkins, and what he did is he brought the subspace service into Jambonz. So it enables you to now, as part of the Jambonz service, use their capabilities. And then Sam Machin, he had an existing hack that was built on Vonage. And what he did is he adapted it to Jambonz because it uses Node-RED. It has a Node-RED adapter. And through using that, he realized there were improvements and made that contribution over that weekend. So this is a great example of not just highlighting the power and flexibility of Jambonz, but making substantial improvements to that project over the TADHack weekend. So I'll just quickly let Dan and Sam introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Dan Jenkins, and this is my hack called Open Source Contributing Back, or something along those lines. So I did a hack with Subspace and Jambonz, but as Jambonz is an open source CPaaS, I decided I would add to the CPaaS rather than use it. So I decided I'd quite like to offer DDoS support to Jambonz customers in a instant one-click type fashion.
So again, it's a really great pitch. But again, an example of being able to contribute to the project and make substantial improvements.
Hello, TADHack. My name is Sam Machin, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on over the weekend. So what I've done is I've been re-implementing an application I previously built in Node-RED for my father-in-law using the Nexmo Vonage voice API. And it's a conference call, really. He runs his church service over a all-hands conference call type of use case since the start of the pandemic. Really nice kind of use case because it's lowest common denominator. Everybody has access to a phone. They've been getting about 30 to 50 people 2 or 3 times a week joining these kind of online or on the phone services. And he has a moderator interface so he can kind of control mute and stuff like that. This UI here is the flow implemented with the Nexmo API. There was some quite complicated stuff to do with kind of controlling of the muting because you had to mute every individual participant and keep track of them and stuff. And this is the flow implemented with Jambonz. So Jambonz has a Node-RED package available. And it's a lot easier to especially to control all the conference muting. Dave's been really good about implementing a couple of features there. So
Dave is the owner of the main drive for Jambonz. But again, that adapter, Sam was able to improve over that weekend because he's building something real. His father-in-law is using it every day, that service. So looking at Colombia and Sri Lanka. Now I show here from Colombia, it's a great hack. Coffeelytics, so it's of course it's Colombia, it has to be about coffee, but it's connecting the consumers of coffee with the growers. So it really is providing a more direct connection between consumption and production. So I'll just let Nicholas introduce that.
Hello, everybody. We are Coffeelytics team, and we're going to show you what we do in this weekend. So, and basically, to provide a way for the final user to know that the cup of coffee they are drinking is a cup of coffee with social justice and good retribution for their farmers. The application as well.
Right, well, I'll just, so you saw actually, he's using Vox Implant. Now, they're not a sponsor. They should be. I've been asking them for quite a few years now, but we don't care. As long as they're using one of the sponsors, that's fine. So he's using Symbol AI here, and then using, he should have been using Telnex, but he's the evangelist for Vox Implant. So we're flexible. But again, I just wanted to show that, we're open to all programmable communication technologies. As long as you're using one of the sponsors, you're in with the prize. So this for Nicholas was a great way of promoting Vox Implant. And of course, he won a prize because it really is a great way of connecting consumers and producers of coffee, which of course is very important to Colombia. And then I just want to show a hack from Sri Lanka in case of emergency. So I'll let them introduce it. Now, this was running over Zoom, so they had a Zoom conference running, so you'll see it a little bit glitchy. That's simply because it's Sri Lanka. The internet's good, don't get me wrong, but it can be a little glitchy over the weekend because so many people are on the are using the internet.
The period between when an accident occurs and when the victim is able to get first medical attention can mean the difference between life and death for the victim.
In an emergency, every second is crucial.
Okay, so again,
good morning.
dealing with
we are from UCSC. So as you saw,
let me just move to where I just wanted to highlight one thing, because again, great way of showing the sponsors, the impact they have on people's lives, and just let me just cancel that. What we see here, the thing they did is they mashed up not just the local, but the global sponsors as well. Increases their chances of winning. And it really, I think, shows one of the themes within TADHack is innovation is both global and local. And they won the Sri Lanka prize, but also won from one of the global sponsors as well. So a great hack. So again, just thanks to Symbol, Jambonz, Telnix, Subspace, Ava Network for sponsoring TADHack Global. Without their support, this event doesn't happen. You go to here to be able to see the summary, the pictures, the videos, and then here's the blog entry. This covers all the winners, has my contribution I made that summarized what we achieved to Enterprise Connect, which is the largest enterprise-focused event. Normally in person, but they went virtual, a couple of weeks before, TADHack. And we also include all the press coverage we achieved. So again, it was a great way of just wrapping up the whole event so you could see just how impressive the results are. Now, looking forward into 2022. October 2022 is when we're hoping to run TADHack Global, and fingers crossed we'll have a lot more locations running in person. I say fingers crossed because, excuse me, this prolonged pandemic, I'm not too sure how long we're going to have to wait for it to disappear. In March 2022, Enterprise Connect is running, we hope. I'd put it at like 80%, 90% chance it will. So we'll have a TADHack Mini Orlando just before it. In December, so we're in Orlando quite a lot. We're in September, December, and then back in March. So we'll be running TADHack Mini Orlando with him via a gauge. So just again, go to TADHack.com. You'll see at the top there the link to the event. Great registrations. We're still just under a month out, and it looks like it's going to be a packed event. Really excited about what's going to happen there. And of course, the reason I'm presenting here is for TADSummit EMEA Americas, which is running through November, December 2021. So again, thanks to everyone that was involved in TADHack Global, an amazing result. And we hope to see you all in 2022 for TADHack Global in October. Thank you so much.